I just feel like it's already, like we're already forgotten.
2 months since the Palisades and Eaton fires.
It's a full-time job to try to find assistance.
Major milestones have been made, but for many, the road to help has been tough to navigate.
We see the lawsuit as an essential part of the recovery and rebuilding of the Altadena community.
Plus, first residents, now LA County and 2 cities, SoCal Edison sued over the Eaton Fire. And swinging clubs and smiling faces, a beloved course welcomes back golfers and a sense of normalcy.
Put it behind you and come out here and relax.
Pre-fire experiences coming back to us give us hope.
Welcome to Rebuilding SoCal, our commitment to give you the latest developments in the wake of the fires. I'm Amy Johnson. Here at KCAL, your stories matter, but more importantly, you matter. And we will keep you at the forefront of our coverage as we rebuild SoCal. We'll be here Fridays at 4:30 on KCAL. You can also find this half hour on our YouTube page and website. We'll get answers and hold leaders accountable while showcasing Southern California's solidarity and strength, because we stand with you. Now, we start in Pacific Palisades, where residents can officially drink water from the tap again. LADWP lifted its do not drink notice that was in effect since January 10th. Officials say tests show all toxins have been flushed out of the water system. They recommend residents run all faucets for 10 minutes before using. LADWP also says it will credit accounts $50 to cover the cost of running the water. The news comes with some mixed reaction.
I think it's a small blip, and I don't think most people don't even want to move back, so no one's drinking the water.
I think it'll be great for those who are looking to stay around because they'll be able to, go back to their place with the assurance that the water's at least clean.
LADWP says each property will have instructions on site to help with the flushing process. Well, SoCal Edison is facing a growing mountain of lawsuits over the Eaton Fire. The fire's cause hasn't officially been determined, but now LA County and 2 cities are suing the utility company separately. Tom Waite has the details.
We see the lawsuit as an essential part of the recovery and rebuilding of the Altadena community.
Scott Kuhn is an attorney with LA County, which wants to be paid back for fighting the fire, rebuilding lost infrastructure, and much more.
The county lost numerous properties and buildings, golf course, nature center.
Although there has been no official cause of the fire, the county cited these photos of flames around transmission lines and towers as evidence Edison is to blame. The county also included a photo of a senior center burning.
Hey babe, I need you to come out here right now.
This chilling Ring doorbell recording from Altadena resident Jeffrey Koo's camera captured what many believe as the first moments after the Eaton fire was ignited. You can see in the distance the flames around the transmission tower.
Why file the lawsuit now if the official cause of the fire has not been determined?
We think there's ample public evidence that has been shown on media, different media, in terms of photographs and videos showing the fire starting directly under Edison power lines.
Edison put out this statement responding to the county's lawsuit, saying, "Our hearts are with the communities affected by the wildfires in Southern California. We are reviewing the lawsuits that were recently filed and will address them through the appropriate legal process."
I feel like the people that lost their homes should be first priority.
Sasha Darling lost her house in the Eaton fire. She's already filed a lawsuit against Edison. She's concerned the county lawsuit could eat into funds that she says should go to victims.
That was my first concern.
Darling believes there's plenty of evidence to prove Edison's equipment was at fault.
I saw the Ring video and it was like, of course, but also even if I hadn't seen that Ring video, the fact that I still had electricity after the fire had started, that was insane to me. I couldn't believe my electricity hadn't been turned off.
Reporting from Altadena, I'm Tom Waite, KCAL News.
LA County has not said exactly how much they want Edison to pay, but it could be in the hundreds of millions of dollars. The cities of Pasadena and Sierra Madre have also filed their own lawsuits against the utility company. Well, former LA Fire Chief Kristin Crowley will officially not get her old job back. LA City Council members upheld Mayor Karen Bass's decision in a 13-2 vote.
As for the 1,000 firefighters who allegedly were sent home prior to the fires, we did not have enough apparatus to put them on. Your LAFD deserves to be properly funded, staffed, and resourced.
Well, Crowley made her case to the council during this week's meeting where firefighters showed up to support her. Crowley refuted claims made by Mayor Bass, including that Crowley refused to prepare an after-action report and that she failed to pre-deploy 1,000 firefighters the morning of January 7th. Instead, Crowley claims she was fired for publicly discussing the LAFD's lack of funding. Still, it wasn't enough to get her reinstated.
The city attorney was very clear that the mayor can fire the chief for any reason or for no reason at all. So whether or not we establish that we agree with the assessment that the mayor made or we don't agree with the assessment, it doesn't call into question the mayor's authority to make the decision that she did.
Well, Crowley will remain in the department. She will serve as an assistant chief with the LAFD's Valley Bureau. Well, 2 months later, many survivors are struggling to get by and get the basics they need. They told our Amanda Starantino the path to help and aid is proving nearly impossible to navigate.
I just feel like it's already, we're already forgotten.
Desperate for help, this group of neighbors who all rented in the Palisades are pleading for their voices to be heard.
I lost my job. I was a caregiver to this wonderful woman, and her house burned down.
I was the local spray tanner here. All my clients have been blown to all over the place. I got a whopping $700 from FEMA. We haven't really received any help.
We're humble renters. We're at the bottom of the food chain. I worked at the local supermarket and my job burned down. Probably $3,500 from my renter's insurance policy, $700 from the Red Cross, $600 from the Buddhist.
With little in their pockets, returning to what is left of their home, this apartment building now reduced to rubble, they don't know where to go for help.
Besides FEMA and the Red Cross, I really don't know.
I know there was a fire aid and I know that there was money collected, but I'm not sure how to retrieve any of that.
We were able to show them how to access the information on nonprofits to contact for funding through fire aid.
Health and housing, and then it has the different organizations.
But this is the first time I've seen this list.
Yeah. Same.
On the Fire Aid website, under the grantees section, you can find different clusters of organizations from children and family support, disaster relief, food access, employment help, health and housing, and others. From there, it lists organizations available and will direct you to that website to receive their help.
I've reached out to so many organizations. Only one organization I was able to retrieve any money at all was $1,000.
Bruce Laurie lost his art gallery business, and he says getting financial assistance has been complicated.
Well, people are really needing the money quicker and not having so much red tape.
Is that it's a full-time job to try to find assistance.
But even with the help out there for these victims of California's biggest fire disaster, it has not been enough to help pick their lives back up.
When you really need help to try to keep your boat afloat, to pay your rent, to pay your car insurance, these things, there isn't really the help out there to do that.
I just feel like more should be done. We're just being kind of left out to hang dry.
In Pacific Palisades, Amanda Starantino, KCAL News.
Disguised as an online business and taking advantage of those trying to help fire victims. Now, we showed you one website accused of fraud last week, and now we found another. That's next.
It's one thing after another right now in the canyon.
Feeling helpless and trapped, the renewed Topanga Canyon troubles after the fires and floods. And we partnered with the American Red Cross to help fire victims. If you'd like to donate, scan that QR code right there on your screen. If you'd like to donate, go to redcross.org/KCAL.
I saw the jeans. I'm like, okay, it looks cute. I checked it out, click, click, click. And I was like, yeah, LA wildfire, this poor woman, I'm going to try to help out.
1 week after we exposed a website falsely claiming their business burned down in the Palisades fire, it's happened again. I'm Mike Rogers here at the desk. This time we're looking into one that looks very similar. It's called Sophia and Mason. I want Jose to come up here because I want to show you their website. Again, very similar to the one we showed you last time. We're closing our doors. It's with a heavy heart that we shared due to circumstances beyond our control, we're forced to close. On the About Us page, they even say, due to privacy reasons, we can't disclose the exact location, but this loss was devastating for us. Well, this is a second version of their website. CBS News confirmed found an old version from the 27th of February saying, tragically, our boutique was lost in the LA wildfires. We, CBS News confirmed, were not able to find any evidence of a brick and mortar store that burned down. I want to show you what's on their Facebook page, though, because it's a woman claiming to be the owner of the business, starting it, saying she did it with her son. She's a single mom. This boutique meant everything to her. CBS News took a deeper look at this and determined that it is likely a deep fake generated AI video. You can really tell when you listen to it and watch her mouth.
And once these pieces are gone, they're gone for good. Every purchase really does help, so thank you so much for your support. To 80% off for the last 24 hours.
You can see the unusual movements of her mouth as she talks, the unusual movements of her hand. CBS News confirmed believes all of this was a deep fake AI. Check the mirror out too. It's faced the other way, but you see the curtains behind it. I want to show you one more thing because we actually found a woman who purchased clothing from that website. She says she never got her clothing and quickly realized it was a scam.
They're really getting sophisticated, and you know, for the casual person who's just going through, always triple check, go to the website. If something looks fishy, it probably is fishy. These people are despicable and deplorable, and taking advantage of a terrible tragedy, awful, is just extremely wrong.
Yeah, now she tells me, and by the way, she didn't want us to use her identity because she's concerned because she doesn't know who's running this website. She tells me that when she found them on Facebook, all the comments were hidden. It wasn't until after she made her purchase and she looked at the reviews, she realized something was up. Speaking of that Facebook page, she reported it. Now they've taken it down after we reached out to Facebook asking them not only about this page, but the story we did last week about the other page. Facebook tells me that both pages violate their community guidelines, but who's running the website? Well, Matt here on our digital desk, he was able to confirm through coding that it's Shopify accounts. Both of those accounts were made by Shopify using Shopify templates. I've reached out to Shopify not once, but twice on both of these stories to ask them what they're doing about these websites that don't really appear to be what they're saying they are. So far, Shopify has not gotten back to me. If we hear any word from them, we'll be sure to let you know. At least for now, though, their Facebook pages are both down.
And if you have a tip about the fires you want Mike to look into, scan this QR code or visit kcalnews.com/tips. Well, first fires, then floods and debris. Now Caltrans says it doesn't know when Topanga Canyon Boulevard will reopen. The closure is from PCH to Grandview Drive. DOT says crews still need to clear debris and fix structural damage from the Palisades fire. This is the fourth closure in 13 months. Residents say they feel trapped.
If you had an ambulance, you couldn't go up and down there unless they authorized it. So we're living in a community that has one way in and one way out, and you know, that's an issue. It really is an issue. Plus, there's probably 100,000 commuters that are being displaced, if not more.
Caltrans says it's exploring options for limited access in the near future. Well, cleaning up and finding peace of mind before moving back home.
You can see that there's a lot of dirt and debris on the floor here.
How industrial hygienists can be key in fire recovery and how to avoid getting overcharged. Plus, supportive services and books are ready to be checked out again at Altadena's main library. Well, it's a big question for those whose homes are still standing but surrounded by destruction. Is my house safe to return to? Christine Lazar introduces us to a man whose job it is to find out and give homeowners that answer.
You can see that there's a lot of dirt and debris on the floor here.
Ash and soot still remain in Kirsten Davis's Altadena home 2 months after the Eaton Fire destroyed several properties on her street. Dave Gold is an industrial hygienist who came here to survey just how toxic Davis's home really is.
We're rating our jobs in terms of how bad they look on a scale of 0 to 5. and I'd say that this one's about a 3 or 4.
The work industrial hygienists do is fairly straightforward, but it's a crucial step in the path to peace of mind for those hoping to move back into their homes within the fire zone.
I'm trying to ride that line between I don't want to be paranoid, but I want to be cautious.
While in Davis's home, Gold took surface samples to be tested later at a lab.
And so this sample here with the alcohol pad would be getting analyzed for ash, dust, and soot. And this one here would be for metals or asbestos.
He calls it preserving evidence in case insurers refuse to pay for remediation. So what is he finding?
Definitely ash, soot, and char, and that in of itself contains a bunch of toxic materials, including polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons. We're certainly finding a fairly frequent amount of lead showing up, also a little bit of arsenic in the samples.
The cost to clean up these toxins isn't cheap, considering these homes survived the fires and don't have structural damage.
I've gotten 4 estimates, and they've ranged from $65,000 to $85,000. And that does not include cleaning all the things that are going to be replaced. That includes merely replacing the insulation and cleaning everything in our 2,000 square feet total.
If there is lead, if there is asbestos, if there are these toxins and contaminants that you're talking about, you can't just come and vacuum it up.
No, we don't recommend, unless it's a very small problem, that people do it themselves.
Why?
Because they could be exposing themselves to toxic materials of one sort or another, or spreading them around the house more in the process of cleaning it up.
Gold's company charges about $1,500 for testing, but he says he's heard of other industrial hygienists inflating costs.
I think if you're finding that the sampling like this is costing well over $2,000, I would be suspicious.
Davis's insurer has agreed to remediation to a level she feels comfortable with, but they will not pay to test again after the cleaning is complete.
It looks like it'll be about at least 3 months before we're able to come back, and I don't know how comfortable or not we'll feel.
Consumer advocates say that some homeowners are having their claims for smoke remediation either denied or not fully covered. And this is not a new complaint. A class action lawsuit filed last year in Northern California by 365,000 Fair Plan policyholders accused the insurer of last resort of illegally writing policies with subpar coverage for damages related to smoke and fire. Christine Lazar, KCAL News.
Marking milestones in recovery, a look inside the Altadena Library as it welcomes back patrons. Plus, tea time is back, and we're not talking about the beverage. The Eaton Canyon Golf Course is reopening next. Some welcoming news for residents of the Eaton Fire Zone. A few beloved community spots are reopened, including the Altadena Main Library. The library and its 70,000 books survived the fire, but had to be cleaned shelf by shelf and rewired with fiber optic cable. There are also portable hand washing machines since the water in the area isn't safe yet. Staff members say they're happy to welcome back the community. Meanwhile, clubs are swinging once again at the Eaton Canyon Golf Course. It survived the fire, but had to be cleaned up before welcoming back golfers. And for those we spoke with, the course's reopening isn't just about golf, it's about hope.
To get out here and put it behind you and come out here and relax. Beautiful day.
You know, most of our golfers here are locals. They're born and raised here, so it's like a sense of family. It's a chance to be a little bit more like normal, and that's important, I think, right now.
Well, the course is hosting a blood drive next month and a pet adoption event in May. Well, we want to thank you for watching Rebuilding SoCal. I'm Amy Johnson. We'll be back next Friday at 4:30 right here on KCAL. You can also find the show on our YouTube page and our website.